check. Sorry I'm late. Sorry I'm late. Yeah, my bad. I gotta own this one. I had a Friday appointment at noon. I thought my stream today was going to have to end early. Corn did consult with me and say, hey, I'm going to go on Chewy's stream. What time should we get started? I'm going to rate him, obviously. And I said it'd probably have to end at 11. Hold on one second. Sorry, got a delivery. Crazy day today, busy day. But I will say this. I think Cornfield and Chewy should have known when I said that I was having a guest on today at 11 a.m. that something changed. I did forget. And I'm very sorry. I asked if they can start a little bit later, and I would love to raid them. But nevertheless, I got Chuck Bass coming on. I wanted Chuck to come on early. Chuck, unfortunately, cannot come on early. Chuck said he gets to his studio around 11. Around 10. He needs some time to settle in. And so we should be good for around 11 a.m. If you guys aren't familiar with Chuck Bass, could be Bass or Bass. I'm going to find out. I always forget. I think he's a great follow on Twitter, does fantasy football content, and I've been on a show, I think maybe twice. And he's a good dude. I think he also knows ball. But maybe he gets accused of being a meme capper like myself. I actually don't even know if he bets on sports, but we'll find out. W sweatshirt. Yep. Picket hoodies are in, and check this out. Shkabang. We got a little freaking DGen logo on that. Bitch. Very comfortable. Excellent hoodie. W Ryder Cup Pat, by the way, too. So you fucked over chewing corn. Got it. Yes. Thinnest of ice, DGen. I'm gonna have to make it up to you guys. I'll tell you what. You let me know, because listen, I'm a good dude through and through. I do feel bad that I told you guys about my schedule. Things change, and I did not update you. I understand that I should have. I forgot. I'm sorry. However I can make it up to you, let me know. All right. I'm not going to say yes to just anything, but I will make it up to you. If you guys, I said, if you could start late, I know Corn's got obligations. I could raid you after. I think Chuck and I will be about $30. $25 Twin Peaks goes to Chew. Yep. Go on Chewy's show. That's how you make up for it. I'll let Chewy say what he wants. What's up, Mr. Vengeance? Slim Smith with a sub. How we doing? A lot of new subscriptions coming in here. A lot of new Twitch followers at 3,500 on Twitch. Hello, everybody. We are late. I know we're thrown off a little bit, but I did want to just recap the game from last night and then talk some fantasy football with Chuck. I'm looking forward to it. He wants Steak's wife. Very funny. Mr. Vengeance, first-time chatter, comes right in hot. Trading Judkins and Ridley for ETN and Devontae. Thoughts? Vengeance, listen, I think you should wait about 13 more minutes until we get Chuck on. He is the fantasy guy. Oh, you know what? On that note, I'm going to go live on TikTok, because the TikTokers love fantasy football, and Chuck is the fantasy football guy. How did I not think of that? New Mexico State was free yesterday. Yeah, I didn't get involved with any. I didn't get involved with any college football yesterday. It was a weird day. Nice hat. Thank you very much, Donnie. Chew, I'll come on, man. Get DGen on. Yeah. Okay, let me rephrase that. I want you and Steak and Corn on my show. Dude, done. I don't know what Steak's schedule is. Have your people talk to my people. Okay, hold on. NFL Week 6. NFL Fantasy Football. Start, sit. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get live. We're going to get live for Chuck. I'm going to go live here on TikTok. People are going to love that shit. Bang! That's what we do, baby. We are in the content game, and we are not here to fuck around. Anyways, takeaways on the Niners and Rams yesterday. How about old Mac Jones? You come on with me at Corn and me. Okay, Chewy, we'll figure it out. All right, we'll talk after the stream. Good morning, everybody. Again, I'm sorry I'm late. Very, very busy day, busy week. I got a wedding to go to today, and you know what? I want to make a quick statement. Thank you to those with Friday weddings during football season. Thank you. Because what a great thing. Now, you can be in bed hungover all day tomorrow. have coffee, eggs, and bacon, order, some Chinese food, and watch college football all day. Glorious. Glorious. I'm going to tell as soon as I get to the guy, it's actually my wife's friend that's getting married, but I met the guy. He's a good dude. When I get to him, I'm going to pinch his fucking cheeks like a grandma. And I'm going to say, hey, kid. No, he's not a kid. Hey, man. Thank you. All right. Congratulations also. But most importantly, thank you for getting married on a Friday so that you don't interrupt football. And now my wife's going to be hungover Saturday. I'll probably be a little banged up as well. And we're going to have no obligations. All I have to do is commit to watching college football all day, noon to midnight. Thank you so much. And congratulations. It's great to be here. Let's have a great time. All right. Mac Jones should start. Holy shit. What's up, everybody? If you're in TikTok, we are going to talk fantasy football with one Chuck Bass as soon as he gets in here. DGen, I need your thoughts on Misstate Texana. My Braves tells me, yeah. Listen, it's a big spread. It's a big spread. I want to go with Mississippi State. I just want to fade the team that I don't think is very good. A little Syracuse Clemson action. But I do want to tell you guys, Steak and I are going to be going live. What's up, ER Money? Not live, sorry. We're going to record our best bets video on YouTube later today. We did send out the newsletter this morning. We have some bets. I hope you read it or at least skimmed it. If you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe there. W Newsletter, bang, go to the website. The Degenerate Weekly website needs a makeover. If anybody knows how to make over websites, why don't you get in touch with Steak? Okay. Niners Rams. What do we know? How about that fucking first half call? I can only do 10 to 10:30. Bummer. WDJ Every Friday. What's up, Jesus? How about the first half call on the Niners? Sharp play. It was never Davis Allen touchdown. I don't even know if the guy played. Do you think I got a refund? Did Davis Allen even play? Yep. What does it say? Heiserman, is it free? The newsletter's free. Yes, if that's what you're asking. What's up, DJ and Sweet Hat? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Guys, we're going to be joined by fantasy football. I was almost going to say expert. How funny is that? I don't know if he's an expert. I got to get his exact title. But Chuck Bass is going to be on to answer fantasy football questions. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, DJ, and you come on next week. Yep. Matt Kendrick Bourne reunion, main talking point last night. Listen, I'll go ahead and say it. Kyle Shanahan's done some things that have pissed me off. He's a great head coach. He's a great offensive mind. I thought last night was one of his better coached, played, or offensively schemed and play calling games I've seen him have. Agree or disagree? I thought that the Niners look masterful. And I watched that game about going into the third quarter before I fell asleep. I thought the Niners were fantastic on offense. And I like that they were aggressive. They weren't scared that they had Mac Jones at quarterback. They felt confident with him because he got 2 games under his belt. Yeah. Corn, do you have this? Somebody said they had it. Yep. Kyle Bang. Yeah. What number do you have? Ted or D Smith. Yep. Do you think Darius Slayton is a bad flex start? Guys, hang tight till about 11 a.m. So 8 more minutes. I'm going to be joined by Chuck Bass. I got to figure out if it's Bass or Bass. That's on me. Fantasy guru. And he will answer all your questions. You look great today. Thank you very much. You're seeing me basically. This is my pre-wedding look. You know what I mean? I still don't know how I feel about the mustache and whatnot. I got to go get my hair cleaned up. My barber is moved locations, and he's fully booked up. So I don't feel comfortable going and getting a haircut the day of the wedding, but I'm going to get cleaned up. Look at that. We got some questions coming in. You've said it before, but it feels like he loves having to scheme for the second and third stringers. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Niners 8.5 might not be in the freest bet of all time the entire season. Yep. Jordan Mason and Wandell on the flex. Ben, hang tight. Ben punches in here with a first-time chatter. Absolutely love to see it. Trade Javonte and Tet for King, Henry, or Smith. We will get to those. We will get to all those. What's up, Caden? What's up, Cole? How we doing, everybody in TikTok? Make sure you like the stream, too. We're at 386 likes. Get that shit up. We can get that up. Let's get up. Let's get it up. Let's tap that screen. Tap, tap-a-roo. Trading Olave and Judkins for Chase Brown and Keenan Allen. Honestly, I think that's actually a really good question. That's a really good question. DJ, thoughts on beef play of the year last night? How about Sandy? What do you think about this guy getting all butthurt that I retweeted his bet? I didn't even chirp him. I didn't even chirp the guy. Beef, listen, we can't. Do you know when you say like you should protect things? We can't let beef get soft like this. I hate it. Oh my God. Why is he so soft? I didn't even chirp the guy. It's crazy. Crazy. Look at this. We got to toughen this guy up, man. Play of the year. Both teams score rushing touchdown plus 170. All I said was, I will say that I very much like this wager. I'll also say I cannot believe the books were offering plus 170. That's how you know it didn't stand a chance. My model had it minus 170. We talked about it live yesterday. I don't even know what that prenatal betting. Yep. Beef soft. Come on, man. Krabs is the biggest bitch alive. Krabs in his head. Yeah. The Krabs beef is definitely getting gassed up. I can tell they're doing a great job. That's Steak said it's kind of like Conor McGregor. Like they're doing the good job like boxers, manufacturing some drama and some hype going into the match. I'm all for it. I like Beef's play. Beef knows ball. The guy just won 40 units the other weekend. I don't know the last time I've won 40 units on a weekend. Stop being so soft. And we all need to hold him accountable. Can't be one person. I can't be the only guy that says things to Beef. Steak over here, the one time he agrees with me, he goes, oh, I really hate to do this. Why do you hate to do it? Why do you hate to do it? Why do you hate to agree with the guy you've known half your life? The guy you just met on Twitter. Why do you hate to do it? Put your foot down. Put your foot down. Tell Beef he's being soft. Jesus, it was a good wager. Absolutely hate to agree with you. You're such a fucking douche. Hate it. Yeah. Anyways, if you are on TikTok, we need to like the stream. Worthy or Allen, we got a fantasy guy coming on at 11 a.m. I just went live. You're gonna have to sit tight for about 5 minutes. Like that stream. I hate to be a douche, but that's what I have to do. It's what you have to do. All right. Chuck said, see you then. He should be in here soon. Guys, make sure you go and check out Chewy too. Chewy as well. He's going to go live with Cornfields. That'll be fun. Okay. So biggest takeaway is the Rams are still not a fun team to fade. I know you had 8.5 with the Niners as well. I understand you had that. The Rams are not a fun team to fade. I still thought they were going to come back and cover that game, but good for the Niners, good for Mac Jones. And do you think, it's Andy, if you're still in here, do you think this makes Brock Purdy look bad? You know what I'm getting at? Sorry, I got to eat, guys. I missed breakfast. It's high. I'm amped up, dude. Amped up. I had 2.5 cups of coffee. I finished the newsletter this morning. I got reamed out by a client at work. I had a 25-minute phone call when I went out and tried to do my morning walk. Late for breakfast. I had to finish some fucking things. Fired up today. Slammed. All before I got to record a video with Steak. Go to a wedding. Juggling 6 deals right now. Come on. Who doesn't want to fucking be a man of the people and give you guys some sports betting content? Who doesn't want to do that? Not me. Not me. What's up, Jonesy? How are you? But it's impossible to not think he's ass. I'm with you. Yeah, absolutely. Cam is money. Good morning, brother. Yep, PCA bases. Yep, sounds like you need an upper decky. No, not my thing. Not my thing. I will have to have some supporters at the wedding, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? How about that American spirit? You know what I'm saying? I'm probably you got to be careful with what you say on TikTok. You never know. Hold on, let me finish this piece of toast. And Chuck should be joining us. Guys, what kind of fantasy football questions do you have in mind for Chuck? Make sure you get them all out because now is the time. Sorry, I got to eat on stream, by the way. I missed breakfast and I need fuel. Absolutely have to have it. I've actually been eating a lot better this week. And I feel better. I feel really good. And I will tell you, I have the Oura Ring. Monitors my sleep. Back-to-back scores over 80. Back-to-back scores over 80 for the first time in probably a month. 80 is not even that great. It's just good, Wandale and Shakir for Nico. Damn. Wandale and Shakir for Nico. Honestly, no. Dowdle is a must stream. He will bell cow. Sure. I'm good with that. All right. Let my wife finish the eggs. Yep. Fleece that idiot. That's a fucking fleece for Nico. Really? Dude, Nathan, people in the chat, we're on YouTube and Twitch right now, are saying that you should do that. Really? People are saying you should do it. I don't know, man. People are saying you should do it. Someone's saying, what dumbass is offering Nico for that? I don't know, man. You don't like Shakir? You don't like Shakir? I like Shakir. Dowdle is a must stream. He will bell cow is interesting. Thoughts on stashing to Sean Tucker? Yes, I did it. I paid, I think, like $40 for him with my free agent budget. He was the first free agent I acquired this year. Yep. Shakir and waiver unless 10-man. Wow, that's a fleece for Nico. That hat being slightly to the side is killing me. Dude, I always do that. I don't know why I do that. Little Dontrell Willis. What do you think on giving? Oh, yeah. How about this one, guys? This is a good one. What about this trade? Olave and Judkins for Chase Brown and Keenan Allen. That is a pretty interesting trade offer. Listen, this is why I'm terrible at fantasy football advice. All right, it looks like we got Chuck ready to roll here right on time. Chuck, you good? I'm going to bring you up. All right, hold on one second. What the hell is that? Is that Nancy Pelosi?
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I said on draft night that if Jalen Milroe went before Shedeur Sanders, I would order a Nancy Pelosi fathead for the background. Now, she's supposed to be clapping and being a little bit more revealing with those that set she has. This is what they sent me. So I don't know if the new CEO for Fathead is a Christian conservative or what, but this is not what I ordered. I'd like the people to know that.
That is hilarious. Wait, what was the trade or the draft that you had to do that for? Say that again.
If Shedeur Sanders was drafted before, or if Jalen Milroe was drafted before Shedeur Sanders, and it happened, and it happened for several people. I want to shout you out because right before the show, you came on and we did a best bet segment. And I think we went like 7 for 8, including Greg Zabel going before the 19th pick. Not only did he go, he's like, he would win Rookie of the Year if they gave it to offensive linemen. So shout out you.
That's interesting. I was wondering, I think the bet that I had was Seahawks first draft pick to be offensive lineman. Technically in my mock, that's not the player I had. And then I also did that with the Cowboys. So yeah, I love betting the draft. That was a great time. I think I've been on your show twice. Chuck, this is the first time you've been on the board review. Thanks for coming. I'm fired up to have you. So I love the NFL hat. I was having a hard time with two things. Please help me and please excuse my ignorance here. Is it Chuck Bass or Chuck Bass?
Chuck Bass. I'm shocked how many people think it's Chuck Bass. I've never officially corrected it, but I just talk so much. And I've been doing this for a couple of years now. I guess I don't ever think about the new people showing up who are unfamiliar with my game.
So, okay, what would you like your I guess your tagline or your title to be when somebody introduces you? I almost said fantasy football guru or fantasy football expert.
I'm a fantasy content destroyer. So I'm not so much of a creator as I am a destroyer.
Yeah, listen, if you guys aren't familiar with Chuck, make sure to go follow him on Twitter. I'm actually going to post your link here in the chat. I'll put it in Twitch here and I'll pin it. Everybody on Twitch, good morning, by the way. This is Chuck's first time on the stream. Happy to have him. Also a great day to have you. It's been a really weird week. We've kind of been all over the place with a little bit of college and NFL, but we fine-tune our bets, and this was a day where it was kind of like just a hodgepodge of what the hell do we talk about. And fantasy football is something that my audience has been like asking for, and I really have a hard time providing because I'm not a good fantasy football guy. Now, I've gotten to the championship 3 out of the last 5 years, so I ain't no bitch, but I'm terrible with advice. I make no trades. I don't even look at the waiver wire. Sometimes I forget about my lineup because I'm looking at the props. I'm looking at the bet, straight bets asides. Are you a sports bettor as well? Or are you just like in like a ton of fantasy leagues? And is that what your focus is?
I usually just put all my money into fantasy. I'm not bad at sports gambling, but I like to bet things other than games. Like I like to bet the draft. I like to bet free agency, things like that, moves that can be made, just because I feel like I'm pretty good at understanding the narratives. I'm not amazing at understand like when the actual game happens. Like my guy will always come through for me, but the team itself will bend me over and take me to the glass. So I just try to keep my money where I know it'll do the most for me.
Sure. Okay. We've got some interesting games to talk about here, Chuck, and I really just want to look at it from a fantasy perspective. And
Hell
then
yeah.
I don't know if you do this because I know you're addicted to the game like I am with shit posting on Twitter and content or whatnot. And again, you do a great job. I'd say in terms of like fantasy follows. You know, Ian Harowitz or
Harditz.
Harditz. Yeah, he's a good one. I'd say you're right up there with him as well. So
I appreciate that.
Make sure to follow Chuck on Twitter, and you do a show as well. When do you do your show?
Yeah, I do a show. It comes out every Thursday on the Player Profiler channel. It's kind of a risers and fallers show. And then I do start sits every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. I'm usually pretty violently hungover, but I think that's where the best content comes from because I don't have a lot of time to think. It's kind of just instinctual. So it allows me to, I don't know, just lay it all out on the line, which I think people want, right? They want to shop their start sit questions. Like I see one in the chat right now. Ben wants to know Jordan Mason or Wan'Dale Robinson in the flex. That's a pretty brutal one. If it's full PPR, maybe Wan'Dale, but Jordan Mason, he still looked good last week, even though he didn't really get the volume you wanted because they were down so early to the Steelers. But he still looks as good as the guy that put up, RB2 numbers the week before. So it would depend on the format.
So the start sit is something that, do you go live on TikTok when you do that?
Not on TikTok. I'm live on Twitter, live on YouTube. And I was live on Facebook, but they kicked me off. So that's another battle.
Chuck, you need to make a TikTok tonight, and you need to go live. These people on TikTok fiend for these start sit questions.
Is that where it's at, guys?
Yep. I'm not even joking. That is where it's at. You will get an unbelievable audience in there. So
yeah.
I go live just to stream and see who comes in and listens to me talk about the Lions -10. Nobody cares. Everybody's just hitting me with start and sit and trades. So real quick before we get started, this nice guy, Anto Verdija, has been asking me since I've gone live about 15 minutes ago about this trade. And now he said, let's ask Chuck about giving Olave and Judkins for Chase Brown and Keenan Allen. I think it's a pretty interesting trade.
The two best assets in that trade are Olave and Judkins. So I don't know if I'm giving those away. You said Keenan Allen and Chase Brown. I don't want 1 second of Chase Brown with Jake Browning at the helm. And I like Keenan Allen, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be like 2 out of 3 guys are going to eat in that offense every week, and it's not always going to be Keenan Allen. Olave will eat every week that he's playing with Rattler. He's really their only go-to there because Kamara, he's playing well in the rushing game, but it's not much of a factor in the passing game. Shaheed, not a target guy. Brandon Cooks, still, like I saw in the corner of my TV on Sunday, doing the, what does he do? The arrow, whatever his celebration move. And I was like, Jesus Christ, is that Brandon Cooks? Like that's where they're at in the Saints passing attack. And I love Judkins. So give me that side by a mile.
Okay. Great job, by the way. Good response. It's actually pretty cool to talk to somebody who knows ball and fantasy every now and then. Are you a Michael Carter or a DeMarcado guy? This is testing ball knowledge.
Oh man, Michael Carter. Michael Carter is like a last call Devonta Freeman in this offense. DeMarcado is more of like a satellite back. He'll get the passing yardage. But they want to be a run dominant team, and they can't do that with DeMarcado. So Michael Carter, I think, is the play this week. He can handle the volume. He's shown he can do that in the past. And that's like the crux of this team. They don't want Kyler to throw the ball 40 times. That's just not how the offense is built. They want to set up play action and go to shot plays. What do we have here this week? I've got, where's Michael Carter in my rankings? I've got him as, I don't have that shit. Let me find that, pull that up. I've got him as RB 32 on the week, just behind Bill Krosky-Merritt.
Cam says you passed his test. Cam's been a long-time follower and a very sharp dude, smart dude. Tristan's got a good one. Is Jamar a trade candidate with Jake Browning playing?
Yeah, I just advised somebody to trade Jamar for Quentin Johnston, and I'm trying to remember who else it might have been. Chuba Hubbard, I believe, was the trade. Yeah, man, I'm getting out. I believe 10 of the last 14 games Jamar's played with Jake Browning, he's finished like wide receiver 30th or worse. Might have been 9. It's one. I'm in with one or two games there, but it's not great, Bob.
Okay. On that note, real quick, let's talk about this London game for a second. And then I want to get to the questions in the chat because they're going to be buzzing all day. We already have somebody coming in with K3 or Jordan Mason. I'll get to them. And appreciate Chuck taking the time to come talk fantasy football with us. I pinned his profile at the top of the Twitch page. Please go give him a follow. Tune into a show to start sit. You said Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern.
East Coast, baby. We'll be
East
rocking and rolling. Gets a little weird in there because anybody who's up that early doing start sits or asking those questions are usually degenerate fiends. Sure, very similar vibes to your chat here, which I'm loving so far.
The Browns. Okay, I don't really care too much about the Vikings with Carson Wentz, but the Browns. You just talked about Jamar being a trade candidate with Jake Browning, which I'm all for because I watched the Bengals play football. Their offensive line is terrible. Their defense is terrible. I want nothing to do with anybody on that team. The Browns making the switch to Dylan Gabriel. Do you think now this offense has been inept with Joe Flacco? R.I.P. Joe Flacco. I mean, he didn't die, but he looks like pretty useless out there.
Yeah.
Do you think there could be a little bit of a flash? Potentially some buy low spots with Fannin, with Judy, with anybody on this Browns offense, obviously aside from Judkins, who we think is pretty solid.
Yeah, if you're interested in what they could potentially be, which we've got Dylan Gabriel this week, he's projected for 13.7 points, 37 pass attempts, 199 pass yards. Not a whole lot of scrambling going on there, but he will buy time in the pocket, which is something Flacco couldn't do. Flacco just couldn't do the things that he was doing 2 years ago when this Browns offense was like rocking and rolling at the end of that 2023 season. It's just not that guy anymore. So this will be the lowest their value will be. I do think he can kind of be like a game manager, which is what they want. He's going to be the backup for the team next year after they take a quarterback in the draft. So they're going to allow him to audition for the role. And they're going to give him the leeway to do so. I like Isaiah Bond as kind of like a deeper league sleeper. He finished at team lead in targets last week and yardage. And that's with Cedric Tillman on the bench. So they've got guys that can make Dylan Gabriel look better than he definitely is.
Love that. I saw Isaiah Bond come in here. I was wondering if you were going to touch on that for a second. Real quick, somebody wanted to go back to the Jamar Chase and said he has Jamar Chase. What do you think about Jamar Chase and Jaylen Warren for Jahmyr Gibbs?
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Right?
If I can get a top 5 asset at the running back position, top 3, I should say. I know he's ranked 5th, but top 3 at the position, I'm smashing that. I like Warren too. Don't get me wrong, but I just think that the fact that Kenneth Gainwell came in and looked good made me feel a little worse about Warren.
Nature in YouTube. This is. I think let's put a limit on how many players we throw out to ask Chuck on who to start. And that's like half your fucking.
Are we picking
bench.
all of these guys for just one flex spot? I love this guy. I love this guy, man. This is my dude.
That's like you. They're treating you like your Chat GPT for fantasy football.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that, Sour Cream Kareem. No way a Gibbs owner would take that. I don't know. You never know. Jamar Chase is still a big name. This is an interesting one. Jameson Williams or Judy at the flex this week because you'd have to imagine the Browns are going to be trailing, so they're going to be throwing. They got Gabriel in there, even though it's against Vikings defense. But Jameson Williams going outdoors in a game where they probably should control the clock with the running game, but they still are probably going to take some deep shots. I don't know. Are you? I'm assuming who isn't a big Jameson Williams guy, but between those two.
Yeah, I'm taking Jameson there just because he's getting the Bengals, which I mean, it's like open train season on this Bengals defense at all levels. The only thing they kind of had going for them was the run defense, and they got bulldozed by RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins. So open season on them. I feel pretty good about a Jameson Williams kind of re-breakout. He's getting a little bit more targets than he should be. His targets over expectation are higher, and this is who you want to play if you need I don't know if you can call it a get right game, but it was a get right game for the Vikings. It was a get right game for the Bengals. And not that the Lions need to do that, but if you have a specific player you need to get right, this is the matchup.
Love that. Let's talk about the Panthers for a second. I see people asking. I see
not things you hear often these days.
No, it's not. But you know what? It's one of our best bets here. We love the Panthers. We think they might be the team that's just totally Jekyll and Hyde. Different at home, better at home. We saw 30-0 against the Falcons. Now they got the Dolphins coming in. So I actually sharp read. I have this new thing now where it says sometimes in fine print, DGen knows ball. One of the things I don't like about the Miami Dolphins, which is no groundbreaking news, their defense is soft as baby shit. So what I liked about the Jets matchup was their running game. I thought that was a good game for Brees Hall to attack on his rushing yards. They were like 54.5, which was crazy low. He soared over that. He did not get in the end zone, unfortunately. Now, what I am taking away from that game is I think I want to attack the Dolphins' run defense in almost every matchup, and maybe especially on the road. We like the Panthers this week. I see people not only in TikTok, but in the YouTube chat as well, asking about Rico Dowdle. Is Hubbard hurt, or are people just trying to get cute with like both backs getting involved?
Hubbard's hurt. He had a calf injury that he came into the week with, and the coaches even said he messed it up even worse in this last game. So I believe he's going to be out. And I really like Dowdle, 1,000-yard rusher behind the Cowboys offensive line last year. The first undrafted Cowboys running back to rush for 1,000 yards. Should see a full workload this week. I think he's a good play, not just in fantasy lineups, but in DFS too. I think his price tag is going to be nice, and he's going to get full bell cow usage. And I think you're right. The Jets offense, specifically the rushing, or actually the whole offense, they were number 2 in success rate last week, which, I mean, for a game that they were getting blown out in, that means that they were moving the ball at a very good, consistent. If you needed 4 yards, they were getting 5. If you needed first down, they were getting it. It was just the turnovers that ended up kind of killing them. So I do think that the way that the Panthers want to play, which is not allow Bryce Young to pass the ball more than 30 times, this is the dude you want.
So with the Dolphins, with Tyreek Hill now out for the season, I actually had Jalen Waddle, and he was a guy I was kind of subbing in between Jacoby Myers and Waddle. Now I think it's a clear-cut, obvious decision now with the injury that Jalen Waddle is like a number 1 threat for the passing game in this Dolphins offense. Do you think, as a Jalen Waddle fantasy owner, he's potentially better used as a trading piece? Because there's a lot of unknown. But we're going to get out of Tua. They like Waller. I've had 3 different owners, a 12-team league, come after Waddle this week. Now, they gave me low ball bullshit offers, but if he has one big game, would you sell Waddle high, or would you hold on to him for the rest of the season?
I would only sell him for somebody that I had ranked higher than him, and that would be in that like JSN, Pickens, Collins, other guys that I think are in as good or better situations and better players, but are also kind of in that like, what the hell is going to happen this season kind of thing going on. I think he's a top 12 guy going forward. Tua's healthy. They're trying to get the ball out quick, all that stuff. They don't have a lot of cards they can play other than that. Darren Waller, if Darren Waller keeps doing this, man, like I'll figure out some crazy shit to put on Twitter that I'll do, because I don't think that's going to happen either.
You have a good bit, by the way. I think your thing is I'll text my ex's fiance or something, right? If something happens.
Didn't have to do that last night because they're going to Jake Tongas and Kyle Juszczyk at the goal line last night. Otherwise, I would have had to send a pretty uncomfortable text to my wife's ex-boyfriend, who I do have his number because him and I used to be friends. And then I did my thing, and we're not friends anymore. But that's life.
So okay. Somebody said thank you, brother. Oh, I don't know if you're referring to Chuck or not. Is he referring to you?
He might be talking to Cam, who's giving him some advice on Bill Krosky, Merritt, or Dowdle. And I'm playing Dowdle over him. I like Bill. Bill leads the NFL also in rushing success rate. Leads everybody. So he's not getting a ton of volume, but he is performing when they hand him the rock. So just be patient with him.
That's what I wanted to talk about. So you like Bill, which is great. And then I saw Jane Daniels here. So this all comes full circle because I'm in on the Commanders this week against the Chargers. They're 3-point dogs. I like them to win outright. I love a fresh Jaden Daniels coming into this game, 2 weeks off. I understand he was injured, but I don't really feel like he's going to be the kind of guy that's rusty. I think we're going to see a big spark out of this offense. I liked what they showed against the Raiders. I like the fight they showed against the Falcons. So Jaden, Commanders in a dome against the Chargers defense, coming east to west, back home. Suffered more injuries on the offensive line. Obviously had nothing to do with the Commanders offense. But what I was going to ask you, well, in addition to this, is there anything that you want to get cheeky with on the Commanders offense? But specifically, we can hone in on this. 2 QB league. Would you start Dak over Jaden Daniels or Fields? I am all in on Jaden Daniels this week.
Yeah, if this is 6-point passing touchdowns, it's easy. It's Dak and Jaden. If it's 4-point and your typical rushing, it's pretty hard. It's hard to sit Dak right now, man. Dak's playing like an MVP candidate. They have the 32nd ranked passing defense also. So for Justin Fields, like you're kind of counting on him to break away a long run if you want him to be in that Jaden Daniels. Like, think about the early guys that went in fantasy drafts, right? Lamar, Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, like Jalen Hurts. If you want Justin Fields to be in there, you need him to like crank out those long runs. And the weakness of this Cowboys defense is the long pass, which he's not very good at. So that kind of skews it a little bit, but I can assure you there is no wrong answer here. All of these guys will probably score 20 plus.
Love it. Okay, I'm getting a lot of questions in the TikTok chat, which I'm excited to talk about this
TikTok chat. Let's go. I'm into it.
Chuck, yeah, listen, I don't know how to connect the stream, unfortunately, but I'm telling you, the people in here love fantasy football.
I have to ask you this though, real quick, because I thought about it a minute ago and
Sure.
I didn't want to get away from it. And chat, if you can help us hit it here too. There's a specific face people make when a NFL injury is going to be good for your fantasy football team, like with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And I'm trying to figure out what that face is. For me, I think it's like
that's going to be
I don't
good.
know. Everybody might have their own individual one. Where like I don't want to show emotion that I'm happy inside because I hate that this happened to somebody, but I'm ecstatic.
So wait. You're saying you're the face you make after you're injured.
After Tyreek Hill went down, me, who has a lot of Jalen Waddle bags this year, I was a pretty happy guy on the inside, but I didn't want to be like, I don't want to celebrate it, but there is an undeniable face that you make.
I have an exception though. If the player that goes down is like kind of known for being a bit of a scumbag and
kind of grubby,
yeah. I think it's okay. But otherwise, I see what you're saying. But if it's like a good dude that nobody's rooting against.
Well, it was funny because he's like, they're carting him out of the end zone and he's waving. And I'm like, that's the same thing Antonio Brown did in the Jets game when he ran into the locker room. I had like the exact same vibes, only, one of them was voluntary and the other was probably couldn't feel anything.
It's that gif of the white lady frowning and then smirking. Yes, that's good. Great question. Okay, AJ Brown. People are asking about this guy. The Eagles' passing game has been awful. 0 passing yards in the second half against Tampa. They're coming back home against a brutal matchup with the Broncos defense. But the Eagles keep winning. But that doesn't do anything for you as a fantasy guy or for your fantasy team. You need them to put up points, and they're really not doing that. Barkley's not even going off. So people are asking, when is the A.J. Brown game? There's a little bit of that narrative play on him being pissed off and just that like cryptic, Bible verse. Are we doing anything with A.J. Brown? Are we doing anything with the Eagles offense? Or are we staying far away?
If you can trade A.J. Brown for Breece Hall straight up, I would do it. I have him as wide receiver 14 on the week, projected 14 points. I mean, like, the get right game is not going up against Surtain and that secondary with the way that Jalen Hurts is unwilling to really put the ball in the places that A.J. Brown wins the most. He's not throwing over the middle. He's not throwing it deep near the rate he was in previous season. It's kind of like Jalen Hurts is who his offensive coordinator is, right? Shane Steichen's his coordinator. He's dominant. The next guy comes in, not very good. Kellen Moore comes in. He's dominant. This next guy, not very good. It's very ebb and flow, but I mean, they're winning. So what's the incentive? Like, they had the clamps on the Bucs. They had the clamps on them, and we got two, I'm not going to call it lucky, but two fortuitous long touchdowns to Emeka and Bucky. Otherwise, that game is not even remotely close. And that's just not how they need to win the game. And they don't need to and A.J. Brown's not playing very well. I can't let that go without being said. He's not playing good football.
I heard a stat during the week that only 51% of the passes thrown to A.J. Brown were deemed catchable. So
that checks out, man. He's just Jalen Hurts is not a winning quarterback because he throws a good ball. Right. He doesn't turn the ball over. He buys time in the pocket and he finds an open man.
Yep. We have an interesting fantasy football strategy that I'm glad somebody brought up because I'm curious if you play into this. This guy said, "Am I starting Ertz over Hunter Henry, but I'm playing against Drake May?" So would you
classic?
Yeah, would you start the player of your opponent's quarterback, even though maybe it's not the guy who you think is going to score more points because it could negate what they gained? It's a little risky, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, I think that like the ceiling Goddard, like that's a good transition because Goddard has been like the safety blanket for Hurts. They've been like hitting him at the line of scrimmage, hitting him like just on these like out routes and stuff, and he's been making moves. So I think that the upside for Goddard outweighs like the potential evenness of May throwing a touchdown to Hunter Henry.
Oh, sorry, Ertz, not Goddard. My bad. I
Oh,
think I may have
Goddard.
said it.
I'm a
It
fucking
sounded like
idiot. I don't know.
Hurts.
My,
It
my, my
sounded like
Philly
Hurts.
brain, I couldn't get it.
That's
I'm not
okay.
even a Philly fan. I don't know what just happened there. No, I haven't loved the Ertz usage this year. So I'd take the potential like 80 yards and a touchdown from Henry, even though you're gonna have Drake May throwing him the ball.
Yep. Here's an interesting one: Zach Charbonnet or Rashad White? Question for running backs in the same game.
Oh man, we got to go Rashad White here. No Bucky. I like
Yep.
Sean Tucker as like
Yep.
what he can do as a runner, but as far as like getting the rushing work and getting the passing down work, like, and also Rashad White's going to look so much better because this offensive line is so much better than it was in 2023 when he was like RB6 overall. I know it's not peak Bucks line because of the injuries right now, but it's still a pretty good one.
Yep. A lot of people keep asking in the TikTok chat about trading Jordan Mason, and the other people they're getting in return are different, like Chris Olave or whatnot. But Jordan
Yep.
Mason's name keeps coming up, and it's not for anything short term. It sounds like it's for long term gain of potentially trading him away. Are you high or low on Jordan Mason long term?
Oh, I'm like, he was one of my guys coming into the season.
Ooh.
I've got him at RB13 this week. And I mean, for playing against the Cleveland Browns and a banged up offensive line, that's still a pretty good ranking. I think that he's auditioning for the starting running back role for the Vikings for next year and maybe even the year after. And he just looks really, really damn good. They just need to get this offensive line in. The thing is, it also depends on like your team, right? Like, he's got a tough matchup this week and he's got a bye after that. So you may not get a lot of high end Jordan Mason production over the next 2 weeks. So are you desperate? And can you get him for like, a Derrick Henry, a Quinshon Judkins, a Kyron Williams because of that fumble last night? I mean, that's probably a tall ask, but there's just, can you flip him for somebody in a similar tier and get through? I'm a big trade proponent. I don't mind trading for somebody in a similar tier, even like a couple ranks below, if I know it'll get me through the next 3 weeks.
Are you a revenge guy, narrative type of player? And I ask because we have somebody who fits that mold, and I've seen his name pop up a handful of times. Stephon Diggs is finally did something for the Patriots. Drake May has been awesome. I heard a guy on a show yesterday talking about an argument for Drake May potential MVP if he keeps playing like this. He's ranking out as being one of the better quarterbacks in the league through 4 games. He's still like 80-1, 90-1, or something like that. Super, super long shot play. But Diggs had a good game. He's going back to Buffalo. Totals 48.5. Any thoughts on Stephon Diggs? Because before that, it had not been good.
Stephon Diggs is somebody I am actively trying to trade for in leagues that I don't have him. You could tell that they were ramping him up. 41% target share last week. They're going to have to pass the ball against this Bills. The Bills are going to put up points. We know that. Like you said, positive game script too. I mean, it's more than likely that the Patriots are playing from behind in this game. Seems to be pretty fully healthy. You have 2 guys that were taking different approaches, right? Like Diggs and Godwin. Godwin's rested and he's trying to get there. Diggs kind of like tried to play the rust off, and it looks like he's gonna be there already. So I think he's a full go. I thought last week he looked as good as he did for the Texans last year, which was pretty good.
Yeah. By the way, if you see me go on mute, the people in TikTok are asking questions that you've already answered. So I'm just reminding them, like some people asked about Chase Brown. Some people asked about Jamar Chase. So I was just reminding them of what you said. A lot of people asking about Rico Dowdle, which is funny. Okay, here's a good one. Somebody's asking about James Cook. James Cook's the fucking man. I took him off the year last year. I drafted him off on my fantasy team. He's a big reason I got to the championship.
Yeah.
And if anybody cares, I lost the game because I benched Jared Goff for Kyler Murray to start against the Rams instead of Goff against the Niners. Huge mistake. But anyways, I love James Cook. I would keep him. I'm not in a keeper. If I was James Cook owner, that would be the guy I would never let go. But if you have no emotional attachment to a guy like James Cook, would you be looking to trade him? And here's the return he's offering: Nico Collins and Quinshon Judkins.
That's a pretty good haul. I'd call that an even trade, but I'm taking James Cook. He is just like straight up. He's like Todd Gurley minus a couple passes right now. His life is so easy, and it's leading to big wins for the team. His yards per carry is crazy high. They have the best offensive line in the league from a rushing perspective, and I think that'll carry throughout the season. They switched this offense to purely being a rush dominant team halfway through last season, and they have not looked back. I mean, they are bulldozing people.
Okay. Some guy keeps saying, yo, read mine, yo, read mine, yo, read my trade. Listen, Keaton, if you got more than fucking 3 players in there, I can't read it. There's too many people talking right now. He's got like
Yep.
6 guys asking about a trade. I can't do that. I'm starting Debo and Jacoby over BTJ. Thoughts? That's a good one, Gummy
Yeah,
Warren.
that's a fun one. Yeah, I'm taking Debo until I see that this Brian Thomas Jr. thing is going to coalesce. Like, if Brian Thomas Jr. outscores Debo by 4 points, I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'll actually be happy that I know that BTJ is coming along, improving, turning the target volume into actual production. Like, the thing that sucks ass this year about fantasy is that guys we love are getting targeted. They're just not turning that into a lot of production like we've seen in years past. So let's let that passing game coalesce and let's ride Debo, turning back the clock, basically keeping that Commanders offense afloat.
I love Debo Samuel. He's a guy that's on my team as well. Big Debo guy, and I like him in that offense. And something I paid attention to is he keeps scoring a touchdown. I said I was going to bet him every week this season. He got one in the first 2 weeks. He did not get one in the third, and then I stopped. Sure enough, he scored a touchdown last week. So it's probably something I'm going to jump back on. But I will say, Jacoby Myers and BTJ are 2 interesting guys. I like Jacoby Myers coming into the year. I'm not going to give up on him yet, but man, Gino's been fucking terrible.
Yeah, Gino's been killing us.
Brock Bowers isn't doing anything good. I saw somebody put a breakdown out there about his Gino's supposed to be one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL. He's been so inaccurate, throwing balls behind him. So it's been really tough. Ashton Jeanty breakout game was good to see. But long term, Chuck, just I wanted to ask you about the Jaguars offense. Do you like Brenton Strange? Because he's a name that's also popped up here. Or any of the other guys on the Jags that are I think Tootin, obviously people are kind of fond of, and Parker Washington.
Yeah, I think that, like the only guy that you can start weekly is Travis Etienne, and like I don't have to wax poetic about him. He's doing his thing. Tootin, I think, is coming along, but like if Etienne keeps playing like this, which he's played like this in the past and then stopped. Like he's not been a very consistent year-over-year player. He usually has like hot stretches and then he cools off. So that's why I like Tootin as a stash. And then like the other guys, like they are almost unplayable. Like you can't play Hunter. You can't play. You're not going to play Parker Washington week to week. He was saved by a punt return touchdown. Diami Brown, I kind of like, but he's coming back injured. So I just like let that figure itself out. If you need Brenton Strange in deeper leagues, I like him too, but he's also going to be a low target earner. He's not going to be, terribly used unless he's in the red zone. So I think there are better options out there.
Yeah, a lot of people. The tight end position gets really weird because that's like a spot where you can really fucking thrive, and because I feel like there's such a marginal difference of if you get a guy that goes off for like 16 points, there's a really good chance your opponent's gonna have a guy who does nothing. All right, somebody has been really eager to get this across, and also someone in the chat said no Glaze. This is one of the best fantasy football guys I've ever listened to. So nice job, Chuck.
I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna go Glaze after the show after hearing that.
Find him on Twitter if you're in here. TikTokers, his Twitter handle is at Chuck F Bass. All right.
Yeah. Group. I've also got a dog who's chilling over there. Group.
Oh, W dog.
Hey, who's a good boy?
What's your dog's name? Oh, that's a big dog.
Group. Right here. Come. You want this?
That is an adorable dog.
Yeah, who's a good boy? Yeah, he's chilling.
What's your dog's name?
Just to continue to win the audience over. This is Groot. Hey,
Groot.
Yeah, he's a good boy. And there's Roger Goodell. Right. See, I've got all the good stuff.
You should have some type of obscure pet and name him Roger Goodell, like something nobody likes. Like a little
Roger Goodell sadly hasn't tweeted since 2021, just for anybody who's wondering. So I'm trying to let them get me to take over his Twitter.
Very, very smart guy because nobody likes him. All right, Keaton. Finally, I'm going to get to your question. Keaton is asked in the chat. He's so persistent, and I'll reward his persistence. Keenan Allen, Ashton Jeanty, George Pickens, for Jahmyr Gibbs and Jayden Daniels. I think that's an easy yes, isn't it? Well, Jeanty's actually really good.
Give it to me one more time.
Keenan Allen. I know this is a problem with so many players, so I'm not going to do this very often. Keenan Allen, Ashton Jeanty, George Pickens for Gibbs and Jayden Daniels.
Ooh, man, depends on how bad you need that high-end quarterback play. But, Pickens is going to float. I know Pickens is a top 5 guy right now, but when Lamb comes back, he will float down closer to like wide receiver 15.
Oh, my God. He says Josh Allen, not Keenan Allen. Keaton, that's it. You're done. You're done. No more answers. What are you doing here? Putting Allen in and not specifying. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, I'm probably still keeping the multiple top three assets. I still really like Jayden Daniels when he comes back. The way that if Mariota's playing like that in this offense, I know what Jayden Daniels can do.
Huge Ass says this should be a weekly show. Great chemistry, good info, while also keeping it light. Great stuff. Yeah, Chuck is excellent. I enjoyed going on his show, and I could tell he was an easy guy to vibe with. Okay,
Appreciate that.
invite my message to pass along. It is absolutely hilarious how many people want your opinion on fantasy football right now, and I'll make sure once you get your TikTok going that everybody asks. Oh, not last, but we'll wrap it up here in a few minutes. I did want to get to Tet McMillan. Steak Ass, who's my co-host, who's not on today, but also people have asked about Tet McMillan as well. People are pretty high on this guy, and so far so good. I think. I mean, the Panthers' offense is abysmal, but he seems to be the favorite target for Bryce Young. But it's Bryce Young. Is he a guy you want to keep? You want to stash? You want to move? What do you want to do with Tet McMillan?
I'm trading if I can, and I'm trying to trade him for like a running back. Like if you could trade him straight up for like Javonte Williams, I think that would be like, I think that's one that people would probably buy in on. Just trying to get like a back, like a back end RB1. I mean, Javonte's looked great. That offense is going to be frying. Like Javonte is basically this year's Chase Brown, the way that he's going to get like high value touches, the way he's going to get used at the goal line, the way he's going to just absolutely crush. So, and I like T-Mac, whatever we're going to end up calling this guy. But this passing offense is just not one that I want 1 second to be a piece of. If Jalen Coker comes back and that ends up like unlocking what this could be, then I like egg on my face. Like I'll take that L.
Yeah, don't blame me one bit. Also, I want to get your thoughts real quick. Oh, okay. This is where I need you to help me because on my fantasy team, I have a pretty good squad. I've got Jonathan Taylor and Amon-Ra St. Brown who are kind of carrying me.
Those are in my biggest league. Those are my first 2 picks.
Okay. Yeah. So those are my pillars to success. And I'm getting trade offers every week. I'm turning them down, but I need help elsewhere. My 2 quarterbacks, it's a 1 QB league. I got Brock Purdy and Patrick Mahomes. I had Mahomes on the bench last week. I had fucking Purdy. That was the reason I lost by 2 points. No big deal. But I had to make a trade to get a running back because my other running back was Jerome Ford and fucking Jaden Blue and somebody else, Braylon Allen, that wasn't playing. So I made a pretty decent move. I got the Texans running game, which nobody really wants. However, Chuck, we saw Woody Marks come out last week. Woody Marks coming out party again on my bench, not bragging, but he's a guy I have to start going through forward through the season. Are you high, even though CJ Stroud stinks and the offensive line stinks? Are you high on Woody Marks, or do you think that was kind of a flash in the pan?
No, Woody Marks is my RB17 on the week, and I think that's his floor. I think what he was really able to do, I mean, he flashed like he's not just like some scat back who's going to catch passes. Like his forced tackle breaking, the way he was cutting north and south and like exploding by guys. I mean, his pass protection, like these other guys like Henderson aren't getting playtime because their pass pro is ass. Like he's decleating Titans defenders. So like a veteran coach like DeMeco Ryans, somebody help me out there. He wants to see guys that are going to keep his quarterback safe because the offensive line sucks. So if you have a playmaker that can also pass protect, he's going to be on the field for 2nd down. He's going to be on the field for 3rd down. And he's explosive, which Nick Chubb, I like Nick Chubb. He's going to get you 4 yards. But Woody Marks has actual ceiling to grow here. I think he could finish the season as like RB14.
Okay. I like to hear you say that a lot. When you said RB17 is his floor, that really got me jazzed up. All right. Last thing, Chuck.
Good matchup this week, too, against the Ravens, 32nd ranked run D.
Yep, that's right. What are you doing with anybody on the Tennessee Titans? Because this is the worst coach. His ATS record is like 3-18. It's awful. This team looks lifeless. Cam Young's calling everybody out. Tony Pollard's running hard, but Calvin Ridley's been a disappointment. Chig's not really doing anything at the tight end spot. And you have to wonder, is Cam Ward going to eventually figure it out? Because they're going to continue to be in trailing game scripts, but he can't get more than 120 passing yards behind this offensive line. Anything that you like value-wise on the Tennessee Titans?
No, this is a classic. Like, give me like a bottle of scotch and a handgun to blow my fucking head off. Like their bye week isn't until week 10, so they don't have a lot. Like, which is usually when rookies kind of like, let's take a breath here and let's try something new. And then they have to play the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Patriots, the Colts, and the Chargers, which are like those aren't cupcake matchups for a team that sucks to spat. A lot of those teams can rush the passer really well too. So, like you said, Pollard, God bless him, he's a battering ram. He's going to get his 20 carries for 70 yards and no touchdowns. I still have to start him in a couple leagues because I'm getting blown. My kneecaps are going left and right for my guys. But yeah, I would say there's little to no hope at all for anybody. Calvin Ridley looks like one of the worst wide receivers I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he's awful, and I kind of was worried. It was such a weird fit when he signed for the Tennessee Titans because, from what I understood, he was about to re-sign with Jacksonville. He was kind of settled in Florida, and he's from Florida. And then they offered him all this money. He's like, "Well, fuck, I guess I can't say no to that." All right, last one. Thank you very much for your time again, Chuck. I'll send your profile again into the chat because I think it's no longer pinned, and let everybody on TikTok know where to follow you. The Giants and the Saints, the marquee matchup of the weekend. You talked about the Saints and Olave, and I agree with you. I took the Saints team total over last week. I like this offense to score some points, at least just be aggressive. Kellen Moore is the coach there. They got nothing to lose. And Spencer Rattler hasn't really been the worst quarterback that I've laid my two eyes on. So I'm okay with the Saints offense. But what I want to ask you is the Giants offense with Jackson Dart now taking over control. There's no Malik Neighbors. Wan'Dale Robinson has got to be a little valuable, but you never really know with a rookie quarterback. The guy I want to ask you about, how valuable is Cam Scatterbo? Because he's running hard. He's getting into the end zone. You know, he's a gritty 25 carry, 70-yard kind of guy, but he's got so much spark, so much dog. He's kind of a fun dude. Would you hang on to him, or would he be a guy you want nothing to do with?
I've got Cam Scatterbo sandwiched this week between Saquon Barkley and Omarion Hampton as my RB8 on the week. I love it. He's like there's nothing this guy does that is going to make Brian Daboll want to pull him off the field. He's catching passes at a high rate. Like you said, 25 rushing attempts against what was a top 5 run defense last week. And that's just what they're going to need, right? They've got a quarterback that is like, as soon as he sees the defender kind of in front of him, like he's going to check the ball down or he's going to get the ball out quick to his read. So I just like that benefits guys like this. And you look at them and they end up at the end of the season with like almost 300 carries for barely 1,000 yards, but he's going to get touchdowns. He's going to catch passes. I love this dude. He's the man.
Yeah, it's hard not to love him. Great point, though. He's not going to do anything that makes Daboll take him off the field. We've seen guys get in doghouses before. I mean, even if he was to fumble, I think at this point, that's not going to really change his volume or anything like that.
Yeah. I want to shout out Spencer Rattler also. If you took all the GMs that are going to have a top 10 pick in this draft coming up and said you can have Spencer Rattler or one of these rookie quarterbacks, I think they would think about it. They would probably take not Spencer Rattler, but they would think about it. The way he's playing, man, like they're not working with a whole lot in New Orleans, and he's scrambling. He's buying time. He's accurate. He's getting the ball where it needs to. He's throwing less interceptions than Chris Olave. It's fun.
I'm glad you did that because I will admit I was a Spencer Rattler hater when he was at college, and then when he came out, I'm like, this guy's going to be the worst quarterback I've ever laid my eyes on. He's really not. He's not. No. I got it. So I'm okay. I'm okay admitting I was wrong. And like I said, I'm ready to put my money on him, which I did last week. So I'm going to take the over in this game. I like the Saints to win. So I'm in on the Saints this week, whether it's Olave or Kamara or whatnot.
You can see like these offenses in their bones, right? Like the Saints are far from what they want to be, but you can see where they're going. The Giants, same thing. Like Cam Scatterbo is not ever going to be a top 10 running back, but he's like perfect for fantasy. He's just going to grind out points and get you that like RB13. And then a couple touchdowns some weeks will get him like RB6. But like I like the direction these teams are going.
Very, very well said. Chuck, you fucking nailed it, man. Great tempo and pace. You can tell that you do this often, and you should continue to as well. We'd like to see a lot more of you. Like I said, get on the start, sit on the TikToks, and be sure to please everybody in the chat go show Chuck some love, give him a follow, and Chuck, how are you doing? I didn't even ask you. How are you doing in your fantasy football leagues? You said you're going left to right with your knees, but are you having any success?
I'm having the single greatest season I've had so far in every league except for the one that I want to win the most. So I don't ever feel like I'm doing good. Like whether it's like, you guys know, you got that one league. It's not my home league this year, but I've got another one that they were talking mad shit last year, and I was coming into the draft and I feel like I nailed my team. And then I lost Neighbors, Kittle, Connor, Jaden Daniels almost immediately. And so now I'm just like, doesn't matter how many points I'm projected in these other leagues. I just keep pulling up the same team and looking at it and wondering what could have been.
All right. Well, hope you do a little bit better there. Book of Chew, thanks for the raid, man. I was just going to go over to your channel. Cut Max says, love Chuck. Rowdy Rhymes, good to see you, man. Good morning. Chuck, signing off. Thank you very much for taking the time. Good luck to you the rest of the season, and we'll definitely have to do this again.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for having me on. Chat, I loved you guys. Probably my favorite chat I've ever participated in. So you guys keep it rocking and rolling, and I'll catch you on Sunday.
All right, man. Good luck. Thanks again for the time. Appreciate it, bro. Low key, Carly, what's up? Steak friend says Chew Raid. Yep, we appreciate you. Great job by Chuck Bass, everybody. Great job. That was awesome to have him on CFB Talk. Yes, listen, we are going to do our best bets video. TikTok, I'm going to shut it down. Those were the fantasy football questions with the fantasy football guy. Make sure to follow the page. We'll do that a lot more often. Chuck was great. All right, have a nice day. I don't know what all this shit is. Okay, there. That's good. Yeah. Oh, nice. I earned 6 cents. Okay. Not Dial. What's up? I hope everybody enjoyed that. Sorry. I'm trying to get through this as fast as I can because I got a lot of shit to attend to. Before Steak and I record our best bets video in college football. Thanks for the raid, Chew. And if you guys can, I think I did this already, but if you can do me a favor, make sure to go show Chuck some love. Here is his Twitter profile. Bang. Go give him a follow. We appreciate that. Thanks for the hospitality and being friendly to our guests. Although out of all the guys that could take some ball busting, I think Chuck's probably the one that could do it. So, all right, hold on 1 second. You guys cool with me picking TD partners? Yep. Oh, we need touchdown partners. We need touchdown partners. Who do I want? Who do I want? Steak, who are you getting? Who are you getting? You said Discord? What are you talking about? Hello, you said Discord? Oh, it's in Discord? Okay, I'm going to go pick somebody. They got to be in Discord. Who do I want? Who are you taking? Steak, who are you taking? Chewy? Go to the NFL chat. All right, hold on. Greg picked Chewy. All right, Greg's got Chewy. But Steak needs some help, man. This motherfucker can't pick a touchdown score to save his fucking life. What's up, Prendy? Welcome to the Discord. Hold on. I'm going right now. All right. All right. Steak says, who wants to be in the TD competition this week? Myself, Greg, stupid ass, DGen, need teammates today. All right. Where did Greg pick Chewy, though? Oh, you went with Lewandowski? I was actually thinking about picking him. Did anybody... Wait, has anybody... Crutch has already been picked, right? You've already been picked. Yeah, Lewandowski's a good one. Can someone just add everyone, please, so they can see it? Yeah, I don't know why Steak didn't do that. All right, give me equity rise. Give me equity rise. A lot of season left. We will get to everyone. Yeah, we will. All right. All right. I got... Oh, yeah, Cheryl Devon's a good one, too. We'll have to get Devon at some point. All right, good. These are all good names. Oh, can I not be repicked all season? Yeah, you can, Dawes. But we want to get to the people who haven't been picked yet for the touchdown contest. Mac, you're my guy next week. Not by me, Dawes. Yeah, that's right. I'll get Dawes at some point, too, I'm sure. All right, cool. We're in. You actually might win this week, Steak. Lewandowski is a good one. He's a good one. I got equity rise. Cutback Mac, you'll get one for sure, too. What's up, Prendy? What's up, Rowdy? Tough beat on that under. That's all right, man. Don't listen to all those little fucking assholes out there chirping. Everybody loses bets. Good luck to you, and thanks for coming on the show yesterday. Appreciate it. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off. Steak, I'll hit you up in a little bit. We'll do our best bets video for YouTube. We'll go over the college board there. We cannot do it live today, guys. We got an afternoon wedding to go to and some shit to attend. Dang, we forgot. What does that say? We forgot to get Bass's Crabs versus DGen thoughts. Very funny. All right, I'm going to raid. Looks like Trent's on right now. Let's go raid book it. Say what's up to Trent, and good luck on all your wagers today and this weekend. We'll see you. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being cool to Chuck, and thank you to Chuck Bass for coming on. All right, guys, join the raid. I'll check you all later. Peace.